Hey everybody, so it is week 5 of the challenge, which is awesome. People seem to be doing well, but we're still getting some questions on, how to make this amount of food happen. So I kind of mentioned this last week. I wanted to make a quick video and show you how I plan out my day as far as nutrition is concerned, to make sure I get in all my produce and all my protein. So I'm just going to do that on video right now. So I have my FitnessPal here, and I've scrolled to tomorrow. Now, my macros are going to be way different than most of yours for a few different reasons. Number one, I've been doing this a long time. When you do it for a long time, you can do what's called reverse dieting, where you start to add food instead of subtracting food. So my numbers are a little higher there. I also, my goal weight is quite a bit higher than what most of you in this challenge are doing. So my numbers are going to be a little bit different, which is going to change this a little, but you'll still kind of see kind of what I'm doing with this. All right, so start. I'm going to add, I'm trying to see as I do this, add breakfast foods. I'm going to go over here to meals and scroll down to breakfast, because I eat the same thing for breakfast every day, just like most of you. And so I just made a meal and saved it. So add my breakfast. So I have 1 can of O2, 1 RX bar, and 1 scoop of whey protein powder. All right, so I know I'm gonna have that for sure. Then I like, the way I eat is I eat an early morning breakfast, and then I kind of graze on produce for the rest of the morning. So I know also tomorrow that I'm going to have 1 pint of tomatoes, which is about 300 grams, 300 to 315 grams, generally speaking. So I'm just going to kind of plug that in for right now. I'll weigh it for real tomorrow, but tomatoes, 315 grams. Safe. Check. All right, so now I've got that in under breakfast, because I know that's going to be part of my morning meal. The other thing I'm going to eat for breakfast tomorrow is some bell peppers. I eat bell peppers all the time, and so I know that the average bell pepper that I eat usually weighs about 140 grams. So I'm going to do red bell peppers, because that's what I have. So I'm going to do red bell peppers, 2 at 140 grams is going to be 280. So 280 grams of red bell peppers. Boom. Okay, I've got that in. Now, again, I'm going to re-weigh this tomorrow for real, but this is just sort of like what I'm planning on. All right, for lunch, I'm going back to my meals because I eat the same thing all the time, like most of you. I make these things, they're called tuna cakes. Sounds gross, but they're just like crab cakes, except you use tuna. I eat a lot, and I eat a lot of them, but I've got those programmed in there too. So I'm going to eat 4 of those tomorrow. I love those because for 1, it's almost 18 grams of protein. So 4 is a massive hit of protein. So I'm going to eat 4 of those. For dinner, okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of produce in there too at lunch. So I've got all my stuff for my tuna cakes. I'm also probably going to have a plum. I'm going to have 2 plums maybe. Those are like 60 grams a piece. So plums, 120. Got that. All right. All right here. At this point, I sometimes am not totally sure where I am, so I'll hit my little diary thing and kind of see where I am. I need to fill out my protein a little bit, but I've got plenty of space left on my carbs and fat. So I'll go back here, and I think probably what I'm going to have is some nachos, which is a little bit fancier than it sounds, or a little bit less fancy rather than it sounds. I have those in there too, because this is a meal that I eat all the time. So that is organic corn chips, 3 ounces, an ounce of cheddar cheese, 3 tablespoons of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of salsa, a little bit of sriracha, and then just some kind of meat. So what I have in here is grass-fed beef. I'm not going to have that tomorrow. I'm gonna have instead is chicken breast. So I'm putting that in there because we have some chickens, and I just grilled up some chicken breast yesterday. So I'm tracking here, boneless, skinless chicken breast because I boned it out and skinned it out. I'm just finding one in here that's good. Organic is the one that I did. Organic, boneless, skinless chicken breast. Great. Great. So again, I eat kind of a lot of this stuff too. But perfect. So I've got my nachos in there, and then I need a little bit more produce probably. So I'm just going to throw in, we've got some cherries at home. I'm going to throw in 100 grams of cherries. And then I'm going to check and kind of see where that is here. So I keep, just because I'm sort of a nerd like this, I keep a little spreadsheet on my phone that I made up. Just looks like this. It just basically keeps a running total of stuff. So I can plug my stuff in here and go back and look in, and I've tracked in now 315 grams of tomatoes, 280 grams of peppers, 120 of plums, and I'm like flipping back to MyFitnessPal. I don't have all this memorized. And then 100 grams of cherries. Cool. And so then the way I have my little spreadsheet set up here, it just tallies all of that and tells me the total grams, which you can see is there is 815. Then I have what's remaining minus 15, which means I'm over my goal, which means I'm set. Okay? So then when I go back to MyFitnessPal, I can see that I have hit my protein goal. I've also hit my produce goal. And then what I have left here in carbs and fat is what I can kind of fill up. If you have any trouble hitting carbs and fat, let me know. But most of you are not even worrying about that. Most of you are just worrying about your protein and your produce, and that's good. That's good for now. That's all we really need to be worried about for this challenge. But that's kind of the way I planned through that. We're at 7:41 right now, so that took me maybe like 5 or 6 minutes while I was talking through it. When I'm actually doing it, it takes a little bit less time. It did not take me that little time at first. At first, it took me like half an hour. But even within a week, I was down below 10 minutes. And like I think I've said, I, like many of you, I imagine, at the end of the day, kind of unwind, sitting on the couch with Lauren, watching a show or Netflix or something. And I'm usually just like screwing around on Facebook anyway. So I take that same amount of time and just plug in my food for tomorrow, plan it out. Then tomorrow, when I open MyFitnessPal, I just go to my diary at breakfast, and then I just scroll through and follow along. So that's it. That's all I do. But doing that then lets me plan out how I'm going to be hitting those goals. If I know I'm going to be like going out to eat or something, I'll usually put that in first so I can plan the rest of my day around that. If I know there's something that I really want to have, like for example, Lauren bought little mini ice cream sandwiches yesterday that I super want to have, I'll plug those in too to make sure that I'm good to go on that kind of stuff. But that's how I plan that out, and planning is really key. You'll notice I did not cook anything in this conversation, right? I do sometimes meal prep my meats, and I know that, like, I know what produce I have. And when I say meal prep my meats, what I mean is instead of throwing 1 chicken breast on the grill, I'll throw 10 chicken breasts on the grill. Takes almost no more time, but then we just have a big chunk of meat in the fridge. Or instead of cooking a 1-pound steak, I'll cook a 4-pound steak. Stuff like that, just so we have meat on hand. Cool. So we have a little less than a week to go. Any questions, please post them up. If you are not absolutely crushing it, let us know, because we want to help you do that. All right? Perfect. Keep it up, y'all. See ya.